Here on the platform behind me, if I don't fall over, it says Japanese against nuclear energy. Well, I think we need to have another sign saying everybody against nuclear energy. Everybody against nuclear energy. That's not the message that I was brought up as a young man. I was told nuclear energy was wonderful. Nuclear energy would be too cheap to meter. That's exactly what they told us, too cheap to meter. I didn't know anything about accidents, or any accidents at all. I didn't know about the big lie in this country. The big lie, after Ernest Bevin convinced the Labour Party leadership to go for nuclear weapons, independent, with a bloody great Union Jack on top, they needed to have the plutonium and the enriched uranium to make this possible without any intervention from the United States. And so the first reactor opened, or one of the first reactor opened, I think it was Chapel Cross. The Queen went up there. A great palaver, our wonderful new reactor, nuclear energy. It produced no nuclear energy. It wasn't even linked up. It was there to produce plutonium for our bombs. So there's a lie right in the heart of the whole business. I have a dilemma. If really and truly the only form of energy to keep our hospitals going, to keep our fires going at home, if the only form of energy was the energy from nuclear energy, then I would have a moral dilemma to know what to say. But it's completely untrue. There are all kinds of sources of energy in this world which we can use if we have the brains to do it. If we can put people onto the moon to walk about, we can certainly well develop the non-nuclear energy that we've got here. In many countries, the tide goes up 1 or 2 meters every day. Imagine the weight of water that can be used to actually trap that water and turn that energy into nuclear source. I'm standing here and it's a sunny day. You can see that God is with us, whether you believe in God or not. God is with us today. The sun is shining, and it's not too warm. I've still got a coat on. But there are many countries where you don't really want to go out in the middle of the day because it's too hot to exist. It's too hot. All that energy can't be used and tapped across the world. Of course it can be, if we want it to be. I've often been on channel boats going across to the North Sea and places, and great gales going, and you feel the wind blowing at sometimes 70, 80, 100 miles an hour right across the top. All that energy can't be trapped and used for us to produce electricity. I don't believe it. I think there are vested interests in pushing nuclear energy, and that's why we've been sold this pup. And it is a pup at massive expense, enormous discharge of CO2 in the production of the things, long delays, and won't be ready for 20 years or something, a new plant. The immense risk of accidents, I knew nothing about accidents, enormous risk of accidents. 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, all these different places that have happened over the years. And any woman who gets up on the BBC and says nobody died in these places, well, they're just talking. She ought to be, I don't know what, she ought to be certified. That'd be the kindest thing, wouldn't it? Take her to a mental asylum, because it's completely nonsense. Nonsense. Of course, there are major victims, and it goes on. I remember when I went to Japan and went to see Nagasaki and Hiroshima, I was meeting people who were the children of the children when the bombs were dropped. They weren't even in existence. The children were, and later on the grandchildren appeared, and they had deformities and problems precisely because of inherited nuclear energy.